What if our world exists not for us but for someone or something else? Every choice we make, every culture we build, every war we fight, not unfolding freely, but staged inside a vast enclosure. To us, the sky is limitless. To them, it may be glass. We imagine history as our own, yet it could be the theater of another species, an exhibition curated, replayed, and observed across eons. Perhaps the strange mysteries of our universe are not flaws but features. The unpredictability of quantum events, the cycles of civilizations rising and falling, the synchronous innovations across societies, these may not be random. They may be the mechanisms of a zoo designed to keep its exhibits alive, fascinating and worth watching. If this is true, then we are not explorers of the cosmos. We are the spectacle, a zoo created for the enjoyment of an alien species. The idea that we might live inside a simulation begins with philosophy. In 2003, Nick Bostrom posed a stark trilemma. If advanced civilizations exist, then only three possibilities can explain our reality. The first, almost all civilizations like ours destroy themselves before developing the power to create simulated worlds. The second, some may survive, but they decide not to build such simulations, whether for ethical reasons, resource limits, or disinterest. The third, civilizations do create them, and if they do, the number of simulated beings would far outnumber the originals. In that case, it becomes overwhelmingly likely that we ourselves are simulated. This reasoning has unsettled philosophers, scientists, and technologists alike, because it suggests that what we call reality may only be a construct, built atop hidden machinery. The hypothesis does not ask whether simulation is possible. We already simulate climates, economies, even artificial minds. It asks only whether advanced beings would do the same, on scales far beyond our comprehension. The alien zoo hypothesis offers one provocative answer. Perhaps our universe was not created to study history, nor to test scientific models, but to entertain, educate, or fascinate its creators. Just as humans keep wildlife in reserves, build aquariums, or reconstruct lost worlds for display, a far more advanced intelligence could create entire civilizations, letting them grow and struggle while watching from beyond the walls. In this view, we are not architects of meaning, but exhibits within it. Our triumphs, our failures, our myths and revolutions, all of it might be theater, carefully curated to hold the attention of unseen eyes. If our universe is an exhibit, what clues might betray its artificiality? Some thinkers point to the peculiar balance of natural laws. The physical constants, gravity, electromagnetism, the delicate ratios of particle masses seem finely tuned for life, as if selected not for chaos, but for narrative potential. In the zoo hypothesis, this is not coincidence but design, a curator setting the stage. Others look to the boundaries of our knowledge. Quantum mechanics, with its observer effect, feels less like impartial physics and more like a universe that only reveals detail when someone is watching. It is as though the exhibit renders itself selectively, conserving resources just as a simulation would. Then there are the historical oddities. Civilizations rise, collapse, and sometimes repeat patterns almost too neatly, waves of empire, cycles of innovation and decline. Is this the natural flow of history, or the structure of a story being allowed to play out for effect? Even our myths could be artifacts of containment, stories of gods watching from above, of invisible powers setting trials for humanity. These echo strangely with the idea of spectators beyond our perception. Perhaps ancient imagination was, in its own way, brushing against the walls of the enclosure. If this is true, then the question becomes unavoidable. Are we free actors, or characters in a play written for someone else's amusement? If the simulation is a zoo, then its architects are its curators. But what compels such beings to watch us? The first possibility is curiosity. Just as humans build reserves to observe animals in their natural state, an advanced intelligence might find value in preserving and monitoring civilizations as they unfold, unscripted and unaware. Another motive could be education. Perhaps our struggles, our wars, our art and our myths are all part of a cosmic syllabus, a living textbook for entities far beyond us. We are the case study, the controlled experiment, the unfolding lesson in the drama of sentience. There is also the darker possibility, spectacle. To the curators, our triumphs and tragedies may be nothing more than theatre. The fall of Rome, the voyage to the moon, the rise and collapse of nations, these could be episodes in a saga designed for entertainment, watched with fascination or perhaps indifference from beyond the veil. Finally, some imagine motives stranger still. What if the zoo is not for them, but for us? What if our existence is staged to guide us, to test us, or to push us towards some threshold of awareness, like an animal gradually realizing the shape of its enclosure? In this reading, the true spectacle is not for the curators at all, but for us, the inhabitants, slowly waking to the uncanny truth of our condition, our creation. Every enclosure, no matter how carefully designed, has seams. If our universe is a zoo, then perhaps its boundaries reveal themselves in subtle anomalies, the glitches at the edge of perception. Some point to déjà vu, the sudden sense of repetition, as though a moment were replaying, a loop within the code. Others see it in the rare events that defy probability, the coincidences so precise they feel scripted rather than random. Physics, too, holds its cracks. The Planck scale, the smallest conceivable unit of space and time, resembles the resolution limit of a simulation. Beyond that boundary, reality dissolves, as if we are staring too closely at the pixels of existence. Similarly, the phenomenon of quantum entanglement, instant communication across distance, suggests that the underlying rules of the universe are not bound by space as we understand it, but by something deeper, hidden. Then there are the mysteries of consciousness itself. Why should matter think at all? Why should neurons produce dreams or minds reach for meaning? For some, this is the ultimate glitch, the one feature that seems unnecessary for survival, but essential for spectacle. Consciousness allows the exhibit to be self-aware, to wonder, to feel the walls of the cage pressing in. Even history may show fractures in the enclosure. Sudden leaps in evolution, inexplicable bursts of cultural development, technologies appearing almost ahead of their time. These may not be accidents, but adjustments, interventions from the zookeeper's hand. If so, then the story of our world is not only ours, but theirs as well. If our universe is an alien zoo, then the question we must face is not why they built it, but what happens when they grow bored. Every exhibit has its season. Species vanish, habitats are rearranged, and sometimes the enclosure is simply shut down. If we are a spectacle, then our survival may rest not in what we do, but in whether we still entertain. The strange anomalies we call glitches, the coincidences too sharp to ignore, the abrupt shifts in history, these may be not accidents, but tests. Are we still worth watching? Are we still novel? Or are we approaching the end of our run? And what if the zookeepers simply leave? Not in violence, not in some apocalyptic blaze, but in neglect. Exhibits crumble, the lights dim, the systems of upkeep falter. The animals, once fed, protected and observed, are left to fend for themselves in a collapsing habitat. In such a silence, humanity would not be destroyed by an outside force, but by the slow unraveling of the environment that once sustained us. And that is perhaps the most unsettling thought. The zoo does not need to end in fire or catastrophe. It can end in silence. The watchers could turn away, moving on to a new amusement, a new pastime. In the silence that follows, we may discover that the test was not to see how far we could advance, but in how long we could hold their attention before they lost interest. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Only on Crotonium.